This is Roger from County Line Racing. This is my car.
All right, man, so let's start from the top. How long have you had this car?
I've had this car for about 6 years now.
6 years? How old were you whenever you bought it?
14, 15, something like that.
Was it always red and white, or did you paint it like that?
It was painted like this. It started off life as a all-white car with a white Landau roof. And when we got it, it was all primered up and stuff like that. So like somebody was trying to do some body work. It was a 318 two-barrel. It had the lean burn, electronic lean burn package in it.
What kind of power do they put out from the factory?
130 horsepower and 230 foot-pounds of torque.
A whopping 130 horsepower, and that's to the crank from the factory, huh?
And then the gears in the rear killed it too.
What kind of rear end did it have in it?
7 1/4 rear end with 224 to 1 gears.
What is having it now?
8 3/4 with 276 gear. The motor, it's actually a 1979 block. It's out of an 80 Dodge Murata. It's basically bone stock bottom end. And we slapped at the time that we built it, we slapped a 420 cam, Edelbrock Performer cam in it, cam and lifters, Edelbrock Performer intake, Edelbrock 600 carb, and then got rid of all the EGR smog BS that came in this car. And
You ever had this thing to any events?
I've had it to quite a few, like car shows and stuff like that. And, I mean, it's the outcast. No one really sees these Cordobas. It's an 80 to 83. They call the J bodies. Nobody knows what they are. Nobody sees them. I mean, it's this, the Imperial, and the Dodge Murata. Nobody has them anymore. They all got pressed in all the gas crisis and the capture clunkers and everything like that. The car's actually originally from Florida. It was in Florida from 1983 to 1999, and it actually went to a little place in Perryopolis called Annan's Auto, and they had it for quite a bit, and they sold it to my dad's buddy in 2006.
You ever had a dyno before?
Yeah, it was actually dynoed at the Mopar Nationals in 2014, and they actually let me go up on the dyno stand and stuff. At the moment, it still had the Edelbrock cam in it and still had 224 to 1 gears. It went 166 horsepower and 230 foot-pounds of torque at 4,000 RPM.
And that's to the wheels.
Yes.
Tell everybody else what you got in store for this thing.
Well, my plans is I've ran this down the track. I was actually at Grudgment Day 2016 with you, Bill, and I ran a 16.4 at 87 miles an hour.
In second gear.
In second gear. I went through the traps at the top of second at $5,000. That shows you how long these gears are.
Yeah, they're real long.
But the plan is, because this already has the 8 3/4 rear end, it's out of a 67 Satellite. I have the center section chunk of a 391 Posi. That's going in. The motor, it's not going to be a 318. I'm planning on getting a 360. Planning on building it up, get it over a 500 lift cam, and bigger carburetor. Holley 650 double pumper is my plan. And hopefully
do a little work on the heads in the shop down at the new County Line building we acquired.
Yeah, a little work on the headers. I'm probably not going to run an exhaust because I'm actually shooting for 12. Because this came with the very unreliable very unreliable lean burn system. What it was is lean burn is basically a computer. It's the computer for the carburetor. It literally was a computer on top of the air cleaner. It actually looked like it was attached to the air cleaner, which pretty much was. And what we did is we took that out, and we had an 80 Murata as a parts card when we were building this. And we took that Murata, and we pulled the motor out, pulled the wiring harness out. Now what was nice is that Murata is the same body, it's the same J body. So we unbolted that block from the dash, put the block of the wiring harness from the Murata in the Cordoba, and it just wired right up. It got rid of the lean burn system, but kept everything else, kept your cruise control, kept all the turn signals right, kept just everything right to use this car as a daily driver, which I did for 3 years.
So you drove this thing every day for 3 years?
Every day. I drove this thing to school and back for 2 years, and then I drove it up to Delmont where I worked, which was about an hour one way a day.
Pretty reliable?
Pretty reliable. Wintertime got a little rough when the electronic choke started to give me issues, and that's about the time I figured I need something better on gas, because I got probably 10, 12 miles to the gallon at that point.
So I'm glad we got to sit down and go through the history of this. You could tell you know a lot about the car and you're passionate about it, because I know I learned a lot about your car just now.
Yeah.
So so next year we're going to be tearing up the track, huh?
Hopefully.
All right, man. Well, thanks for taking the time. This is Rogers Cordoba. Look for it next year to be hitting 12s.
All right.